5 Best Language Learning Apps to Master a New Language. Anthony Carranza, multilingual writer and journalist covering all things technology and productivity. Read full profile. Learning a new language is no easy feat. While a language instructor is irreplaceable, language learning apps have come to revolutionize a lot of things, and it has made language learning much easier. Compared to language learning websites, apps offer a more interactive experience to learn a new language. The following language learning apps are the top recommended apps for your language learning needs. Duolingo is a very successful app that merged gamification and language learning. According to Expanded Ramblings, the app now counts with 300 million users. Duolingo offers a unique concept, an easy-to-use app, and is a great app to accompany your language acquisition journey. The courses are created by native speakers, so this is not data or algorithm-based. The app is free and has the upgrade options with Duolingo Plus for $9.99, which are ad-free lessons. The mobile app offers 25 languages and is popular for English-speaking learners learning other languages. TeleTalk aims to facilitate speaking practice and eliminate the stresses of a real-time and live conversation. The app allows users to connect to native speakers and has a WhatsApp-like chat that imitates its interface. There is a perk to this app. The same native speakers available also want to make an even exchange and learn your target language. So engagement is the name of the game. What's more, the app has integrated translation function that bypasses the difficulties of sending a message with a missing word and instead fills in the gap. Remember that Duolingo has integrated gamification in language learning. Well, Mindsnacks takes the concept to another level. There is an extensive list of languages available within the app, comes with 8 to 9 games designed to learn grammar, vocabulary, listening. You will also be able to visualize your progress since the app integrates monitoring capabilities. The layout and interface is nothing short of enjoyable, cheerful and charming. Bashu is a social language learning app. It is available on the web, Android, and iOS. It currently supports 12 languages and is free. The functionality allows users to learn words, simple dialogues, and questions related to the conversations. In addition, the dialogues are recorded by native speakers, which brings you close to the language learning experience. When you upgrade, you unlock important features including course materials. The subscription is $17 a month. Babbel is a subscription-based service founded in 2008. According to lingualift, it is a paid housing of Duolingo. The free version comes with 40 classes and does not require you to invest any money. Each of the classes starts with a sequential teaching of vocabulary with the help of pictures. The courses are tailor-made and adapted to the student's level, allowing the learning to be adjusted accordingly. All the apps recommended are tailored for different needs, whether you're beginning to learn a language or trying to pick back up one. All of them are designed by real-life native speakers and so provide you with a more concrete learning experience. Since these apps are designed to adapt to different kinds of learning styles, do check out which one is the most suitable for you. We've all done it. That moment when a series of words slithers from your mouth and the instant regret manifests through blushing and profuse apologies. If you could just think before you speak, it doesn't have to be like this. And with a bit of practice, it's actually quite easy to prevent. Think twice before you speak, because your words and influence will plant the seed of either success or failure in the mind of another. Napoleon Hill. My mum recently left me a note thanking me for looking after her dog. She'd signed it with lol. In my world, this means laugh out loud, and in her world it means lots of love. My kids tell me things are sick when they're good, and mank when they're bad. When I say bad, I don't mean good. It's amazing that we manage to communicate at all. When speaking, we tend to color our language with words and phrases that have become personal to us. Things we've picked up from our friends, families, and even memes from the internet. These colloquialisms become normal, and we expect the listener, a reader, to understand what we mean. If you really want the listener to understand your meaning, try to use words and phrases that they might use. When you've been in a relationship for a while, a strange metamorphosis takes place. People tend to become lazier in the way that they communicate with each other. with less thought for the feelings of the partner. There's no malice intended, we just reach a comfort zone, and know that our partners know what we mean. Honey, I don't want you to take this wrong, but I'm noticing that your hair is getting a little thin on top. I know guys are sensitive about losing their hair, but I don't want someone else to embarrass you without your expecting it. Did you know that you're losing a lot of hair on the back of your head? You're combing it funny and it doesn't help. Wear a baseball cap or something if you feel weird about it. Lots of guys get thin on top. It's no big deal. It's pretty clear which of these statements is more empathetic and more likely to be received well. Recognizing when we do this can be tricky, but with a little practice it becomes easy. When I was a kid, my gran used to say to me that if I didn't have anything good to say, I shouldn't say anything at all. My gran couldn't stand gossip. So this makes total sense. But you can take this statement a little further and modify it. If you don't have anything to say, then don't say anything at all. A lot of the time, people speak to fill uncomfortable silences, or because they believe that saying something, anything, is better than staying quiet. It can even be a cause of anxiety for some people. When somebody else is speaking, listen. Don't wait to speak. Listen. Actually hear what that person is saying. Think about it, and respond if necessary. One of the most common forms of miscommunication is the lack of a referential index, a type of generalization that fails to refer to specific nouns. As an example, look at these two simple phrases: can you pass me that? And pass me that thing over there. How often have you said something similar? How is the listener supposed to know what you mean? The person that you're talking to will start to fill in the gaps with something that may very well be completely different to what you mean. You're thinking, pass me the salt, but you get past the pepper. This can be infuriating for the listener, and more importantly, can create a lack of understanding and ultimately produce conflict. Before you speak, try to label people, places and objects in a way that it is easy for any listeners to understand. It's well known that our use of nouns and verbs, or lack of them, gives an insight into where we grew up, our education, our thoughts and our feelings. Less well known is that the use of pronouns offers a critical insight into how we emotionally code our sentences. James Pennebaker's research in the 1990s concluded that function words are important keys to someone's psychological state and reveal much more than content words do. Starting a sentence with "I think" demonstrates self-focus rather than empathy with the speaker. Whereas asking the speaker to elaborate or quantify what they're saying clearly shows that you're listening and have respect even if you disagree. Before speaking, we sometimes construct a scenario that makes us act in a way that isn't necessarily reflective of the actual situation. A while ago, John promised to help me out in a big way with a project that I was working on. After an initial meeting and some big promises, we put together a plan and set off on its execution. A week or so went by, and I tried to get a hold of John to see how things were going. After voicemails and emails with no reply and general silence, I tried again a week later and still got no response. I was frustrated and started to get more than a bit vexed. The project obviously meant more to me than it did to him. And I started to construct all manner of crazy scenarios. I finally got through to John and immediately started a mild rant about making promises you can't keep. He stopped me in my tracks with the news that his brother had died. If I'd have just thought before I spoke. Text source, lifehack.org.